All right. Hello, strong challengers. Happy week 5. We're in the week of serve. So today I'm joined by Linda May, the executive director at the Chippewa Falls YMCA, and she's going to talk to us about serve and service. If you have any questions throughout this live session, feel free to comment below. And if you think of something after the fact, we'll check back and see if we can answer those questions as well. So thanks for joining me today, Linda.
I am so happy that people are a part of the Strong Challenge. And although the week theme is serve, and I'm telling you, if you're looking for a magic pill on how to feel better and more fulfilled, serve is the magic pill. And I'll explain that in a second. But I want to thank people for being a part of Strong. I am so proud of you. The Y loves you. The Y is so happy of you. I'm so happy for you. You have given me personal strength by being on Facebook and by sharing your story and your accomplishment. And I cannot tell you how you have served me. It's not selfish. I am just so happy you're a part of this great team and that we're holding each other up. So we're already serving each other before we even get to the topic, because we have held each other up in such a beautiful and positive way. So folks, if you stick around and do throw questions at me, there's nothing I love more. Here's what I'm going to tell you what service does. It's going to make you happy. It is research to give you better health. You're going to have a sense of belonging, and we certainly know that from quarantining and isolating our life. You're going to get a greater sense of purpose, and you're going to be building your resume and life skills. So all of this is a result of serving. And I would like to go through these different points. If you have, right now, I just want you to stop and think of a really beautiful act of kindness you saw someone do in your life recently. Just really think about it. It could just be a hug. It could be that someone's picked something up that you've dropped. And the research shows that the person who performs the act of kindness obviously is getting a good feeling. But what research showed was the person witnessing that act of kindness got the same feel-good feeling as the person actually doing the kindness. So if you watch someone else do kindness, you will get the exact same feeling. So the takeaway of that is, if we're watching each other perform acts of kindness, it's just a better world in general, and that the body recognizes service and good. The body and the mind and the heart wants to see this. My background is in psychology, and a basic human need, if you've ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a very basic element of need is our sense of belonging, having our name be said, having us being recognized, having us being acknowledged. This is a basic. And especially with COVID, this crazy challenge of isolation. And I know I've been saying, I don't want to say the word, but I'm saying the word. We need each other more than ever, and we need to do acts of kindness more than ever. Have you felt that, Amy?
Yes, I'm working from home. I'm very isolated.
Yes.
And, I think just seeing people do small acts, you've asked people to share on the Facebook group what they've been doing or what they plan to do. And even just seeing what they're saying they're going to do brings a smile to my face. And it's like, I need to get out there and do more as well. But somehow I'm isolated, so I don't know how to do that.
But watching your spouse do acts of kindness toward your child or your family creates that sense of well-being. And there are ways that we can serve others even from the comfort of our own home or discomfort from our own home, right? So recently I had joined the 100 Women Who Care. And because we can't meet in person, 3 video stories have been submitted and we voted on it. And I felt so good listening to what others are doing in acts of kindness and then providing my own support for that. So it doesn't have to be physical. in the sense of being right there. You can reach out to others, you can donate, you can give advice, you can share your picture on media. There's lots of ways that you can connect and serve each other's. So basically service means you have to put the interest of others before yourself. Bottom line, you must think of someone more than yourself in order to serve them. And sometimes we forget we should be putting ourselves out there in the planet, in the community, in the household. We can get too channeled into our own structure and not connecting. So ask yourself, when is the last time you've put the interest of others above yourself? Because if you can't do that, you can't serve. So you have to be outside of yourself. And what they found is that people who serve others are the happiest than people who only serve themselves. So there's a group of sociologists who tracked 2,000 people on a 5-year period and found the people who would describe themselves as very happy volunteered at least 5.8 hours a month, right? So a little over an hour a week where they were doing something. Maybe they were doing something for their church. Maybe they were doing something for the neighborhood. Maybe they were just taking a plastic bag on their strong challenge walk and picking up the litter. That's the same thing. You're serving someone and the interest above yourself. And the people who did that or were surrounded by people who were of that kindness felt happy. And this is the happy pill. I am telling you, if you serve others, you're going to serve yourself 100-fold. So it's contagious. The more people, the more observation, just at a little over an hour a week, you're just going to feel better, because that happiness is a sense of I make a difference in the world. Where we get depressed, where we get sad, is we don't feel like anyone knows us, acknowledges us, or we have worth. Could you comment on that, Amy? Any connection to your own experience?
Yeah, well, I think, being isolated and not seeing people is just a very hard thing in general, right? Because when you're out in the community and you see folks doing a nice kind act, even if it's as simple as opening the door for someone or doing something very small, is very easy, and you do that often and that makes you happy. Like when I would be in the Y facility, often walking around just smiling at people, asking them how is their day, how are they doing, that it's a very, 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 very small act of kindness, but it is still something that can bring a smile to their face and to yours. And not having that opportunity right now is very hard. So I know that, especially with Thanksgiving coming up, me and my husband have tried to think of different ways that we could maybe support random people in the community over the holidays, or the homelessness is skyrocketing in the Chippewa County right now, and it's very relevant in Eau Claire as well. Eau Claire has a homeless shelter and Chippewa does not, and there's just a lot of unknowns, I guess, around what these folks are supposed to do if they don't have a bed that they can go to for that night. So even just like hearing these different stories on the news, it's sparked something in us where we're like, we need to figure out what we can do to help. And even though we can't offer somebody a bed or make them a meal or something, we could provide them maybe with some monetary donations to be able to have a little bit of something for Thanksgiving or have a bed to sleep in for a night out of the cold.
Yeah, volunteering puts your own life in great perspective, right? Common result of the blues and depression is that you do not have perspective of your own life compared to others, right? And here we are talking about, can we have holidays together? What is our best course of action? And one thing we lose the perspective that this is temporary. This is just a place we're in currently. But that for every place you are in personally, someone someone could have it worth, and most likely does have it worse. And putting yourself out there, this homelessness in Chippewa County is accurate. That is doubled. And they are saying that the Feed My People group, they're talking about a need of 70% increase of food as a result of what people are experiencing in their own economy, in their own household at this point. And people need even more, especially in this holidays of thankfulness and gathering, just to take true perspective on what is going well in your life and how you can help others. So, I've often, when I had my own personal bouts of depression, just one of the things I did was take a gratitude walk every day and said 3 things that I was grateful for. And it was just enough to flip the perspective. So servicing others really helps flip your perspective of what is right in the world. You are serving others, you're helping lift others people's up, and you're going to feel better about your own perspective in your own circumstances. I will tell you, the race is against yourself. And when you volunteer and serve others, and as Amy says, just how about a sincere question of how's it really going for you? How's your day going?
We need that now more than ever.
Yes. Like a genuine conversation. Most people, there is an exercise, I teach volunteerism for the YUSA. And there's an exercise where people are asked questions. There's 2 people and one person asks a question. Just all he or she does is ask questions straight for 5 minutes. And then just make sure they're listening to the answers. That's all they do. They ask questions. And the people who report being on the receiving end of that said no one has talked to them like that in so long. So one of the nicest ways just to serve others is to have a sincere, genuine, interested conversation with other people. And you'll be surprised just how good it feels for you to seek out information, especially couples, right? I've been married to my husband. We've been together a few decades, and you think you know everything about a person, and then something just comes out of the blue because you ask a sincere question, right? And then you find out something. The human experience is vast, and I guarantee you there's always room for surprises. So to volunteer, to serve others, to serve the interest of others above yourself gives you better health. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is one of the best ways to get out of depression and lower stress. It is another magic pill of happiness. And they found that retired people, mostly senior folks, I got to be careful how I address others' age here, but if you were of a wiser and more elderly nature, if you volunteered 200 years of service a year, 200 hours of service a year, you decreased your chance of hypertension by 40%. That is a huge correlation between service and health, right? So people with hypertension who volunteered their time and efforts took care of their body because they were feeling better. They weren't in the perspective of woe is me, and they were changing the world in which they lived in. They were changing their own backyard in which they lived in. And there's nothing better than volunteering locally and changing the neighborhoods and the streets that you walk, right? And that's a big benefit of volunteering and serving, is that you're making the place you live a better world. So health. The other benefits, just as I'm looking over my lovely list here, is you get a sense of belonging. I don't know about you, Amy, but I tend to travel the same circle of friends, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, same people, same neighbors, same family. But by being in other locations, maybe you're volunteering for a race. Maybe you're volunteering to serve the hungry. Maybe you're in a big group of people that's collecting litter. Maybe it's not that big. Maybe you're serving on Strong and sharing your story. The point of it is that you're expanding the people that you meet day in and day out. You're expanding your network. You're getting a new group of friends. And we are creatures of habit. We tend to spend time with people who look and are like us economically, are like us in our beliefs, are like us in our age and our background, and you got to shake it up again. One of the things I used to say is I liked hanging around and volunteering with younger people. I called it youth perfume, because just their can-do attitude and their just the excitement of everything that was maybe not so excitement over as I live life. It was just a boost of energy because they saw it differently, and I was reminded how they saw something that I used to think about when I was younger too. So it just gets us out of our rut, out of the same people, the same network, the same types of people. You start meeting people from various walks of life, fortunate and unfortunate. And it's good for your perspective to shake that up a little bit and not just be with the same people over and over. Can you attest to that, Amy?
Yeah, for sure. I think a good example of this is working at the Y. I took over the Support the Troops care package drive a few years ago, and it brought me into a community of individuals that have either family or friends serving either overseas or stateside, and it opened my eyes to there's this huge community of people that I don't have any family or maybe just a handful of friends that are enlisted or part of the military or whatever. And so seeing that this huge community of people, they come together, they are their own family, and being able to
Yes.
provide them with this event and get to talk to them and understand the impact of this event, it was very eye-opening, and it was awesome because for a lot of the time leading up to the first Support the Troops, it was, I don't get this. There's so much confusion. Like, why are people bringing this? You know, it was just so many unknowns. But going through that event that one day, the first time, it opened my eyes. And that event will always have a very sweet spot in my heart because of the people that it impacts and helps. So just
And
meeting
those
those folks was
just
awesome.
went out yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, yep.
So
We just did it again yesterday.
yeah. Yeah, the Y is doing a couple things. Right now, if you want, you can support the Y and Boys and Girls Clubs of America by still time to participate in the virtual turkey trot. I just got my package in yesterday. My shirt came in the mail. So you get a shirt, a gator. It's beautiful. I should be modeling this, but it's all on the other side of the room. A certificate for a pumpkin pie, which I am going to donate to the community. So you can even feel good twice. Not only are you supporting the YMCA and the Boys and Girls Club, but you can support by donating your pie to a needy family. So it's a win-win from Festival Foods when they put this together. And it's a chance to get outside, smell the air, and knowing that your beautiful walk or run is helping so many needy families with the Y. You know, that's exactly why I'm in a career with a charity. I want it every day to have a sense of purpose. And I've worked in both profit and nonprofit work, but my day has always meant something more when I knew that my day was to advance the life and well-being of others. It's just my role in society, and I've chosen to do that. But I also have other volunteer spirits other than the Y. It's not my only focus, but it's certainly a love and a major one. Just to continue to talk in lines of the benefits of serving others, which is, again, putting the interest of others above yourself, is it's giving you a sense of purpose, right? You feel rewarded, fulfilled, empowered. When you help others, that feel-good feeling is that I know I made a difference. It was a purpose. My reason for being here from the moment I walked in or participated to the moment I left made a difference. It's tangible. And when you can chew on that tangible sense that your gift changed something, that's an empowering feeling. And I will tell you, for parents with teenagers, get your teenagers, get your family, really getting a sense of volunteering and serving others quickly. Teenagers are especially vulnerable to low self-esteem, and they have found that volunteering and serving others is really helpful for their sense of esteem and purpose. Teenagers probably have one of the largest gaps of a sense of purpose or a sense of perspective. They really distort their sense of who they are. Volunteering can get that right as rain. And it's also been shown to improve grades as well. So teenagers is especially, and this is why a lot of schools do service projects. It's why a lot of schools have required across the country that the students show that they've demonstrated at least 40 hours of volunteer service in a year. That's a big push and movement through the education system right now. Also, many seniors who have lost a spouse or their children are grown up, so they're no longer a daily parent, or have retired, so they don't have a title, have lost what used to be helpful connections to their self of identity. I'm not a parent, who am I? I don't work for XYZ company or association. What do I do? So you don't have a sense of who you are anymore. And there's this need to re-identify. This is why so many seniors have sundown syndrome, where they feel sad after the sun sets, or they just don't know what to do with their life. That there is no better magic elixir than volunteering to change your focus of your life, because you come with experiences, you come with passion. This doesn't shut off when you're no longer a parent. This doesn't shut off when you're no longer working. And so you have amazing gifts to give. And there are people on the other side in our communities that are waiting for your gifts. They need you. They need your kind heart, your sense of life experience, and your sense of loyalty and dedication to something, to a cause. You're mature. You're very mature in what you do. And there are organizations just waiting for you to go out and to assist them. And you will feel a whole new role in life that you have lost just by going through all the responsibilities that life delivered and you completed. So it's your chance to kind of rebuild who you are again in the sense of purpose. And then just the last point is, if you're new to this world, say you're a young professional or a young person, by doing volunteer work, a lot of us go to school and don't have a resume of jobs, right? I've babysat, or I might have worked at a local retail, but doing volunteer work, running a project or doing that connection gives you a resume boost. And for a lot of people, serving charity boards help prepare skills that you would need in a company to advance in leadership, or to other boards of a different nature too. So boards can build upon boards, committee work can build upon being in a board, different projects can build into creating a project management sense, which builds your resume. It really is a way for you to learn on the hands experience in a safe environment for which you to learn. So it's a way of building your skills and building your resume for the job market. So, and I will have to say that when I was younger, I did just that. That was a big way I got into my start of my own resume. That was really a cornerstone for my career. Have any background to that, Amy?
I would just say, I've worked at the Y. That was probably my first big job out of college, and getting connected with some local boards that needed the Y represented on. That was awesome to be able to connect with
Wonderful.
those. And then there was also some chamber related groups that I was able to connect with. And being able to put those things on a resume is awesome. And then continuing to build that with getting connected with some other volunteer opportunities, I can definitely see how somebody looking to hire is going to look to see how selfless you can be and what else you can do other than just sitting behind your computer or doing your work, right? So seeing how what other opportunities you're able to do is awesome.
Yeah. And remember, volunteer to a sense of your passion. I say anything. If you don't like what you're doing, volunteering, that's going to suck. Excuse me, like my French, but this is your chance to do what you want to do. Just because, so a lot of times too, we make the mistake as a charity organization that, oh, well, I hear you have your job is in accounting. Why don't you help us with our books? No, the role of volunteering is to do your passion. You have a make sure it matches your passion because you're serving others, right, above yourself. So if it's not a passion in it, it's going to bring you happiness. It's you need that motivation in order to serve someone besides yourself. So make sure what you're picking absolutely it's personal to you because you want to make a difference in your community or you feel that you have this gift to give and share. Don't let others talk you into volunteering into something that's not going to bring you joy. Because I will tell you, if it doesn't bring you joy from the first moment, it's never going to bring you joy. And all the happy pill and magic elixirs of volunteering are not going to work. They just won't work. So it has to match your passion. It is volunteering, serving others, having faith in knowing what you can do to change the world is really the best way to make you happier, healthier, and purposeful. I don't know of a better way than going outside of yourself to do this. And I guarantee you, if you take this step, in even a small step of asking sincerely how a person's day is, or carrying a plastic bag and picking up litter on a trail, something small to something larger, you're just going to feel so much better. As easy as moving 20 minutes a day in this challenge. Any add-ons, Amy?
I think you have covered everything very well, Linda. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, we would love to hear how you are serving or volunteering or just what you're doing to make your community a better place. So thanks for joining us today, and we will be back next week for our final.
Why Weights and Grace.
Yeah. All righty. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.